Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A dramatic rescue caught on video after a fire rips through several condos in Farmington Hills. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Karen Drew in for Devin Skillion tonight. That fire broke out yesterday morning, and tonight we're getting a closer look at what was happening inside. Victor Williams brought you that story last night at 11. He joins us live with a breakdown of that really amazing video, Victor.
Oh yeah, Karen, and officials are still trying to get to the bottom of what caused this fire that did a lot of damage. But we're getting a first-hand view of what happened on the inside before the fire department got here.
Get away from the building. Get out of the building.
We had one sergeant, and I believe it was up to 8 officers that were on the scene.
Farmington Hills police officers make it to Country Glen condos just after the flames break out. Their main goal, evacuate everyone inside when every second matters.
They had to do their due diligence, and they had to check systematically to every apartment because they weren't getting a lot of response.
Chief Jeff King walks us through the body cam video of some of the dramatic rescue. One by one, officers check every unit to make sure everyone was fine. As you can see, people are clearly still inside.
You by yourself? Yeah. Come on. I gotta get my shoes. Let's go. No shoes. Get out.
And the fire started or was located in the 3rd floor roof and was working its way down. So the teams of officers separated and started systematically working their way up from the ground floor to the 3rd floor.
In one room, a scared dog is carefully picked up by an officer and taken to safety after its owners beg officers to go back for the rescue.
To have officers re-enter that hostile environment, that dangerous environment, to try to get that animal out, just nothing but pride for our department.
Without a doubt, Chief King believes the actions of the officers saved lives.
Our officers were able to step up, put their own safety aside, and get in and try to save as many of the individuals as possible.
Did anyone get to the 3rd floor? We're up there.
And we know that 5 officers had to be checked out for smoke inhalation after having issues breathing. But once again, it's a big miracle in itself that no one was hurt here. In Farmington Hills, Victor Williams, Local 4.
Great work by the Farmington Hills Police Department for sure. Thank you, Victor.
State lawmakers from both sides of the aisle hosting town halls tonight to discuss recent widespread DTE power outages. Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib brought local experts together from the Michigan Environmental Justice Coalition and We the People Michigan to discuss how people can work together for reliable and affordable utilities in communities. Frustrated customers voice their opinions.
$35 is a slap in the face. It is a slap in the face. When people have hundreds of dollars on groceries wasted, thousands of dollars people saving up to buy generators, putting their families in hotels, it's not okay.
It took DTE 10 days to move that wire off their fence. Now the trees, we just had a storm, they're leaning again because the way DTE keeps trimming, it's weakening all the trees.
Meanwhile, in Commerce Township, Republican State Senator Jim Runstand hosting a town hall for residents of the 23rd Senate District to voice their concerns and share experiences as customers of the state's largest utility companies. It comes after an ice storm left 700,000 customers in the dark for several days last month.
And we are learning more tonight about a fiery crash that killed a man near the Detroit-Southfield border. It happened Saturday night around 11 on 8 Mile Road near Northland Drive. Pamela Asborn is live tonight for us with the story. And Pam, I understand you talked to a Good Samaritan who jumped in to help.
Karen, we did. He was driving along 8 Mile Road when he saw that accident just over here, that crash so violent that SUV burst into flames. There was a group of people, including a police officer, surrounding that car, doing what they could, but standing between them and the man's trapped in that passenger seat were flames. That's when he came to this BP to get a fire extinguisher that he brought over to that scene to help. This viral video taken along 8 Mile late Saturday night shows the lengths one man went to in an effort to save a complete stranger.
Some people kicking at the truck, but I knew somebody probably was trapped in there.
He was on his way home when he saw other passersby and police trying to get into the passenger side of this SUV.
But they couldn't do anything because he was so much on fire.
But the flames kept them back.
So I instantly went to plan B. Like, I know they had plan A covered. I was gonna go try to get a fire extinguisher from the store.
He rushed to a nearby gas station, returning with a fire extinguisher he'd asked to borrow.
Started sweeping back and forth with a fire extinguisher. Once I did that, the fire calmed down a little bit. That's when one of the Southfield police officers grabbed him, pulled him out the rest of the way.
Once the officer got him out, he began helping the passenger.
I started putting out, his head, and I worked my way down to his feet.
He never thought twice about doing what he did. Not then, not now.
I was just moving. I wanted to give him a fighting chance because I knew that was me, my son, father, daughter, anybody. I want somebody to do the same. So I wasn't going to sit there and just watch somebody, be ablaze and say it's too late, it's too late.
And unfortunately, that man did not survive his injuries. The man who stopped and tried to help the situation, he tells us his thoughts are, of course, with that man's family this evening. Police are going to be giving us an update on this investigation tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Detroit, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
All right, we appreciate that. Thank you so much, Pam.
We're learning more tonight about a road rage incident where shots were fired at the scene of a crash. Detroit police got the call this afternoon on East 7 Mile and Sherwood. Officers tried to do a traffic stop. That's when the crash happened. And then one of the drivers fired shots at officers. Police returned fire. The suspect was hit either by that gunfire or by the gunfire from the road rage incident.
The officers applied a tourniquet, got him to an area hospital where he is being treated. The vehicle is registered from out of state. And all we know right now about our suspect is he has an active KPS warrant for fentanyl trafficking out of Kansas City.
And we're told the suspect is in temporary serious condition.
New security measures go into effect tonight at Michigan State University 1 month after the campus shooting tragedy. Key cards are required to enter most campus buildings from 6 in the evening to 7:30 in the morning. These signs have gone up on campus. Some buildings will also be closed on weekends. The university is also adding more cameras to academic buildings and outdoor areas. Then, starting in the fall, the university is putting a new lock system on 1,300 classroom doors. Also in the fall, all students and staff must complete active violence intruder training. Wayne State University offering some free tuition to more students. This is some good news.
It really is. It's called the Wayne State Guarantee, and it gives free tuition to students with family incomes of $70,000 or less. The university says it will cover the tuition and fees for nearly half of its first-year students. It's being coupled with a state scholarship that provides $5,500 per year to students attending a Michigan public university.
My brother's currently in college right now at U of M. He has to pay a lot of money, so I'm just excited that I won't have to hinder my parents to actually pay for my college.
This is a game changer for me. It's opening doors that I would not have been able to even look at before this was a thing.
Students looking to get the Wayne State Guarantee will want to act quickly. The rules say you must apply by April 1st of this year. You may have noticed a few snowflakes flying around out there during our live reports a few moments ago.
Yeah, forward meteorologist Kim Adams is here tracking exactly what is next for the rest of the night and our morning commute.
Well, the snow showers are winding down, but there are some slippery spots on the roads because earlier this evening road temps were above freezing. Now they've dropped down below freezing. So you might have noticed for the evening commute, most of what was falling was just wet on the roadways. But now it is getting slippery, especially on elevated surfaces like bridges and overpasses. We're still seeing some light snow showers in Oakland and Macomb counties in the northern part of Wayne County as well. 23 is the current temperature in Pontiac, 23 also in Mount Clemens, 26 at Metro, 29 in the city. Now tomorrow we start the day at 22 degrees, but wind chills are going to be in the single digits. So a very cold start to the day tomorrow. And then in the afternoon we get to 34 with the help of some sunshine, but our normal high should be in the mid 40s. We will see that later on this week. And in fact, we'll even go above normal. And I'll talk about that coming up in the forecast.